Jax comes in, goes for a Michinoku driver off the turnbuckle, but Naomi reverses it into a power slam off the turnbuckle when Tiffany runs down, and you think she's going to cash in, but instead nails the referee, takes the briefcase, and swats Naomi in the head, leading to an annihilator, and Jax retaining in, wait for it, 19 minutes and 32 seconds. Jax retains, but that is not where things would end, but a really strong match that these two ended up having, and I thought overcame one of a pretty tough commercial break where they really had this crowd, and it's always...
Well, the crowd live obviously doesn't see the commercial break, so, you know, they just
didn't know if they could go for another 3 minutes and stay at this level while we are in commercial.
Well, oftentimes, I don't know what they're doing in these commercials. The action must be pretty good because often they come back hotter than, they tend to cut these matches off like for our first commercial break relatively soon. So that's probably the reason why. But there were a lot of commercial breaks, which is something I think we have to get used to with longer matches. You know, I don't think it's as big of a problem because in exchange, you're getting hotter crowds that have the opportunity to be more invested in a longer match. I thought the match was very good. I would say among the best of Nia's matches I've seen in quite some time. I think among Naomi's best matches, especially considering the opponent here. You know, first of all, I think it's another example of like having just the benefit of having a longer show. Therefore, you could have a longer match. Secondly, it's another example of the great chemistry these two have with each other. I don't know if it's just the fact that they're family, but like Nia looked like an acrobat in there, taking some of those bumps that she did for Naomi, that crucifix bomb, and then that power slam counter off of the second rope looked so clean. It was a level of athleticism I didn't know Nia had within her. And I was so incredibly impressed by the match itself. But of course, all the talk will be about the post-match.
This month at postwrestlingcafe.com, it's your home for the XL editions of Rewind to Raw, Rewind to Dynamite, and Rewind to SmackDown, shows containing the news of the day, feedback, questions, along with our show reviews. It's a packed month here at the cafe. Wrestle Kingdom 19, Wrestle Dynasty, TNA Genesis, The People versus GCW, plus a look back at the Flair Steamboat rivalry of 1989 on Rewind Away, and so much more at postwrestlingcafe.com. So Jax attacks Belair, goes for the Annihilator, when all of a sudden Tiffany nails Nia Jax with the briefcase, takes out Candice LeRae. Meanwhile, Bianca Belair, who was taken out by Jax, comes back and hits her with a KOD. So Stratton throws Belair over the desk. The crowd is going nuts at this point. She cashes in and hits the prettiest moonsault ever, pinning Nia Jax and winning the women's championship. And then the credit came up at the bottom, show went off the air. Awesome 2-hour show.
US. Listen, they put arguably the biggest thing on this show in the 2.5 hour mark. And I found that interesting and maybe likely strategic because this tends to be the big lull that tends to occur on these 3-hour shows. It's when you get to 10:30. It's sort of the death segment of these shows. And by putting this significant event here, they kind of changed that. You know, this became actually the most probably talked about and significant thing on the show. I love the way that they executed this cash in. You know, it had Stratton, I think, coming out of it feeling very smart. You know, because it was a longer match going 19 minutes, it more than justified the logic in her choosing this opportunity to take out a tired Nia Jax. I think the way she went about it too was also very smart. She couldn't just come in here with all the people ringside and just cash in and hope that she would be able to pin Nia somehow. She had to do the fake out in order to get Nia and Candice off their guard so that she could attack her and have Naomi taken out by Nia and have Belair do her dirty work for her. Then she could come in, take everybody out, and win the championship that way. So I thought it made Stratton look very smart and made her look, gave her certainly the biggest reaction of the evening.